Alright, welcome to Sasquatch Games. This is Call of Cthulhu, the new HP Lovecraft game. Came out like a month ago. I've had a lot of technical difficulties recording this game, but fourth time's the charm. So we're just gonna get right into it. I'm super excited about it. Let's take a look at the settings. New window, full screen, resolution good. Global? What does that mean? Oh, okay. Epic. Yeah, we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna go restore to default. What's that? X? Oh, backspace. Yes. We're just gonna. Yes. Okay. New game. Yes. We're gonna override. Chapter 1. Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly, or risk losing his license. Enter madness. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. Gruesome. A little down on the volume. Not cool. We're gonna stay away from that. Hey, look. Bolt cutter. I'm gonna use that bolt cutter.
In my wake, pulled along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
Creepy voice. That's the way I came, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I won't go back there. Looks like a potion.
What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey.
And yet you seem to drink a lot of it.
I wonder why I still take these things.
The doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares. But for a while now, their effect has been wearing off.
Lost battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage.
Maybe to you?
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I have business here to attend to.
Well, fine then.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
Case closed. The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me for weeks after the investigation had been closed.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
Case solved. The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case. But when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. Ain't that the truth?
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. I should get rid of all this stuff.
And all these whiskey bottles.
It's been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
20th October, 1924, Pierce Investigation Agency. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Stats. Mental trauma. Oh. Collect them all. Collect all the mental traumas. Nightmares. Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War where he took part in the Meuse-Argonne offensive. He is one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Forced to hold their position for several days surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades, without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him. Right now I am stable, confident in your abilities and your Cartesian mind. You conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions, and your perception of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reliable. I have no information. Oh, on just inhabitants, okay. Places. Pierce Investigations Agency, my private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine, for the moment. I have no clues. Lighter. My old lighter, that I engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. Drink, to drink, or not to drink? I will have a drink. It affected my destiny. Oh no. I didn't want to do that. It's a bit early in the game to be affecting my destiny.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Ooh. Allocate your character points. Each character point allows you to improve the score of a skill. Occultism, medicine, strength, investigation, psychology, spot hidden, and eloquence. I have 8 points. Okay. What's different about these yellow ones? Oh, I remember. Okay, so the yellow ones I can't change after this point. I can only increase them through getting books and experiencing things. So I'm gonna pop a few points in occultism. Looks like I already have 10% in medicine. I'm an investigator, so I want an investigation. Spot hidden. And I want some in psychology and eloquence. Now I don't need strength.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
A file on Sarah Hawkins' case. A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report. It says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life there with their only son, Simon.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
I'm a private investigator, not an art critic.
I guess you're not as clever as you think, then. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
The Learning of Medicine, Volume 1. A dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. This first volume lists all illnesses known in the civilized world. It details the symptoms and suitable treatment.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston, but I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century, but it seems to have been shunned since then.
Atlas of Atlantic Islands. Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows. But today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coasts of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that
Oh, didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was wondering if I could have another drink. It seems that I can, but I'm not going to. A strange picture painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death was sent to her father just before the artist died. He is convinced that she is the sender. He brought me the painting so that I could examine it. Stephen Webster, the wealthy industrialist, came to my office. He wants me to reopen the Sarah Hawkins case named after his daughter who died in a fire alongside her entire family. I must examine the documents he compiled in order to know more about the case. All that remains is to leave for Darkwater. So I'll certainly find something on Darkwater in my bookcase. Inhabitants. Stephen Webster, age 63, occupation businessman. A wealthy businessman well respected in the Boston area. Stephen Webster came to see me in order that I investigate the death of his only daughter, Sarah Hawkins. The man accepts neither refusals nor inconvenient truths. He is ready to do anything to prove that his daughter was not mad. Charles Hawkins, age 41, occupation shipowner. Charles Hawkins was a local celebrity on Darkwater. The heir of a shipowner family, he used to travel a lot. He met Sarah Hawkins during a trip in Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. Sarah Hawkins, age 33, occupation painter. Sarah Hawkins, a painter known for her tortured artistic universe. She was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." Her marriage to Charles Hawkins years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress, known for her party-going, chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers, and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continued to seek the truth. Simon Hawkins, age 11, occupation schoolboy. Only son of Sarah and Charles Hawkins. He died in the fire that claimed his whole family. Island of Darkwater. It would seem that the world has forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It is a small, inhospitable island whose coastline is made up of steep cliffs and sharp reefs, and with only one outlet to the sea. It is mainly inhabited by the descendants of whalers who set up a supply post there in the 1800s. It was hit severely by the collapse of this activity. I think that the only venture on the island that is still profitable is its medical institute. It's an occult painting. Art of Sarah Hawkins. Intuitive and visionary artist for some, overpriced imposter for others, Sarah Hawkins leaves nobody indifferent. This mysterious and reserved painter offers strange images with violent colors and wild strokes to the world. If her paintings are testimony to her vision of the world, then the world of Sarah Hawkins is a portal open to other dimensions. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. And I have this. This painting depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks that it is linked to the death of his daughter. this stuff. Okay, then. I guess it's time for me to go. Oh, I gotta hold it down.